Well, we were talking about NIIT Technologies, which has jumped in trade after reporting a healthy set of numbers for the December quarter. What have been the key factors at play here? Joining us now is the Chief Financial Officer, Sudhir Singh, and Saloni Dhanuka from our research team. Saloni, over to you.
Thanks for that, Navneet. So, sir, talking about the quarter went by, can you discuss your order intake for the quarter and what has the order backlog now? And also, how is the split between US, Europe, Middle East as well as the rest of the world?
So I think this quarter has been very good for us in terms of order intake. The numbers that we are reporting is $130 million US order intake through the quarter. Our order executable, to the other question that you asked, stands at $329 odd million again. So there's been a very sharp acceleration on order intake and on orders executable over the next year. From our perspective, we are actually seeing numbers come in across the three geos that we operate in, and more encouragingly from our point of view, across the three key verticals that we operate in. So the US has led the growth in terms of the order intake that's come in. Roughly about $82 odd million out of the $130 odd million that I told you around came from the US, and then the Europe and Asia, the rest of the world, have contributed equally for the remaining part.
And sir, what has the influence of seasonality been on this particular quarter?
You know, when we started the quarter, this quarter three, as you know, traditionally tends to be a softer quarter for us and for the industry as a whole. But we've actually been very pleased with the numbers that we have turned in, despite the seasonal impact of furloughs and holidays that we see in quarter three. So the 2.6% quarter-on-quarter revenue increase number that you're looking at has to be seen in the background of the softer quarter that quarter three normally is, and hence we are pleased with the numbers that we've seen.
And what's behind the margin movement? Are you looking to sustain these margins going ahead?
We feel very confident that at the current levels we will sustain the margins. The margin movement, as you've seen, has been very encouraging again. Margins have gone up, operating margins by about 96 basis points. So quarter on quarter, that's encouraging from our point of view. Moving forward, we expect marginal improvement, but the levels that we've come to, getting back to your question, we feel confident we will sustain them for sure.
And so what are you picking up from clients abroad in terms of spending and change in trends?
So let me take that. I think where we stand today, January of this year, we see the market outlook as being positive. As you know, we work across three different verticals. We work across insurance, we work across BFS, and we work across travel and transport. All the three verticals, the sense that we pick up right now is that the outlook, budgetary outlook, spend outlook is positive. So we actually see that doing well. In terms of trends, and this again is borne out by the numbers that you see from our firm, the spend around digital and technologies that we call emerging technologies beyond digital, the spend there continues to accelerate. The spend at the intersection of a few industry subsegments and some of these technologies again continues to accelerate. So that's how we see the world right now.
And a lot of your peers still indicate lack of visibility in the banking and financial segment. What about the demand sentiment in banking and financial space according to you, sir?
So as we see the world, banking and financial services for us, the segments that we operate in and we tend to be deep in is asset and wealth management. Out there, the outlook as we see it today from the key clients who we work with and the prospects that we're going after is positive. So we don't see any deterioration. We actually see positive momentum there, and that is exemplified in some ways by this quarter results around banking and financial services for us, which have grown 4.4% quarter on quarter.
All right, sir, it was a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for speaking to Bloomberg Quint. So that was the management of NIIT Technologies, quite confident about maintaining their current level of margins. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that, Saloni. And just switching focus back to markets, we've seen some buying coming in the last 15 to 20 minutes.